What's going on, everybody? Wanted to make a recap on BKYI. Had a lot of questions about it, just why the ticker was on my watch list and why I bought it. I wanted to go over that. Maybe a little bit longer of a video because I need to go over UAVS to try to begin to explain why I took the trade that I took on BKYI, because in my mind they were somewhat correlated in the sense of like the setup and the feel, not necessarily because of a sector correlation or anything like that. I'm just saying that kind of connected. There was something with BKYI that kind of connected with me, made me think of UAVS. So yeah, I'm going to try to get into that and share my perspective on that. Wanted to go over my monthly results just because, April has come to an end and I just want to show my results here right on E-Trade, right on the brokerage platform. The dates, you can see it update. There you go, $24,376 for the month. Pretty good month. And I'll never complain with a $24,000 month. I'm not going to complain, but trading wise, I'm unimpressed with myself. Just to be completely honest, yeah, I'm not impressed with myself. I could have done much better, and I'm fortunate to be in the position where I can say that, like, hey, I'm actually not happy with how I traded this month, even though I have a 24K month. I just really disappointed in some spots, but okay. And for the year, might as well, right? How much am I up this year? All right, we're up $92,500 for the year. Year's going phenomenal. I mean, I couldn't ask for a better year. Just phenomenal. So hopefully that'll keep up. So that's just full transparent update for you guys, and let's get into UAVS. So UAVS, you can see it washed from $9, just kept washing and washing and washing. It got down to 22 cents at its low years. Maybe on this day it looks like it touched 20 cents or 19. And so we'll zoom into this craziness. But I love stocks to trade the way you can put it on a 2-month scale and put it to 15-minute candles, and it just shows it all. And usually, maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you can't really do that with other platforms as well. But okay, anyways, you get the news, purchase order, and this day was pretty wild. It went from 35 cents, peaked at $1.58. It comes all the way back down, and it holds. Kind of holds this bottom area around the 50-cent mark, and then it pops, get another hold. So essentially what's happening is it found a bottom, started to form a stair-step pattern on the multi-day. I remember seeing BKYI forming a 3-day candle setup on the multi-day that I really like. See if I can get a better view of that. I think chart views are really important to get the right view, to get the explanation across. Yeah, I like this chart view much better. The 1-minute candles is what I live by. So this was what I was seeing. Essentially, and not perfect by any stretch, obviously, but you gotta work with what you got. basically it was forming some TA that you would expect to see on, maybe an intraday chart, for example. You might see it on form this setup in the morning, and then you can imagine that once it breaks to the upside of the triangle and starts to hold, this would be your kind of entry, maybe an afternoon entry for a continuation of further upside, right? So, except this is happening on a multi-day scale. So what does that really mean? It means that the play is going to take more time, so you're going to have to be really patient and let this thing really run and find its upside. It also means that when it does surge, it can be extremely powerful. You gotta respect scale, and it did. I remember seeing it this day, and I don't even want to talk about it. Let's not talk about how disappointed I was this day. But essentially, I saw it around this area. I was gonna try to buy it for the whole dollar breakout, and I wasn't too comfortable with it. However, I did see 500,000 shares pop up at 98 on the bid. 500,000 shares. So that was what I call a bid prop. It's just when a large bid pops up to kind of further confirm your play, kind of to make you, not sure how to explain it. It adds confidence to the market and can get things rolling. Not just that, but once you buy, you know that the likelihood of a dump on you is very unlikely, and if worse comes to worse, you can usually exit on the bid prop and kind of have like a secure price that you know you are most likely not going to get slippage on. It really lets you manage your risk optimally, and so that's what I saw. I didn't pull the trigger. I should have pulled the trigger, but I didn't. I just kind of watched it. I just wasn't too comfortable with UAVS. For whatever reason, I just wasn't comfortable with it. Even though it had the multi-day setup and everything was there, I just froze up on it. And you can see that setup, well, led to some amazing stuff. Led to $5 peak upside on a 99-cent confirmation buy, with absolutely no downside risk. Or what I mean by that is when you buy, you would never be red on your position. Just insane. From a risk-reward perspective, just an insane play. That being said, I don't really consider I don't consider holding something for 500% ROI. I just don't consider it. And what I mean by that is I don't think anybody should ever do that, quite frankly. I mean, you can to some degree if you have like a scale out strategy, then okay. If you keep like 1/3 of your position and find this $5 upside, that's amazing. But you get what I'm trying to say. Singles add up. You might not want to go for the 500% move, but regardless, just amazing stuff. And yeah, I mean, when something moves this much, it's no longer a buy for me. It's been my rule since the beginning of time. If something runs more than 200%, you're not really going to see me involved. So I honestly wasn't even watching it today. It just went against my rule. You just don't touch it. Even in the morning, even in pre-market, it just doesn't matter. It was too overextended for my rules. I just didn't touch it. It's fine. However, seeing this, it reminded me of BKYI. I know that I'm rambling. I know I'm rambling, but this is an amazing enough play that rambling is alright. It really is. This is the type of play you can get rich off of. So rambling and looking at it and repeating yourself and all of those things are fine. You're looking at something that can make you rich. It's worth spending a little extra time on. So just a beautiful pattern. When you see this first pop is very important. This is very, very important. This allows it to bounce back harder. I can't, it's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. It's like without this beginning pop, this most likely wouldn't have happened. Because I don't have a good explanation, but this is just what I've seen over time. It just seems to be true. It's like this was the beginning. This was the beginning of the entire play. It comes down. You know, this kind of reminds me of Capper. Capper, when it was hot, pre-market, right? It went from like 2 to 7 or something. It kind of reminds me of that. Like this would be like the pre-market pop, and then you get the pullback, and then higher lows to test the highs of the pre-market highs. We get the breakout of it, right? And then it makes a huge run, squeezes. Okay. Scales. I'm trying to explain scales. This is not easy stuff to explain. The patterns repeat, but the patterns are able to occur on any scale, any time frame. It's endless. It's endless. Any single pattern that you can imagine, it can occur on any scale imaginable. Any scale. So, difficult to explain. I hope that I am getting my point across to some degree. Okay, I think I've gone over UAVS enough. Just amazing stuff, and I blew it. You know, I blew it. I didn't trade it how I wanted to. My instincts were telling me, hey, that's a 3-day surge pattern to test the initial highs and probably squeeze over it, and just, you know, it doesn't matter what your feelings are. If you don't execute your feelings, then your feelings are worth nothing. So there's that. One more chart view I do want to bring up. Okay. So this is a 3-day surge pattern that I was talking about. On the multi-day. These big candles kind of make the scaling hard to see. Okay. I mean, it's as simple as this. You get the stair step, higher lows, into a 3-day. Okay, this is a 3-day surge pattern. That's just what I call it. Who knows? I make up weird names all the time, but I call it the 3-day surge pattern. So you get a volumetric analysis, which is clean, into the surge out of this micro 3-day candle setup, and not just that, once again we have the first day pop. So think of it like you get the little pop, it comes down, display pop comes down, but then the momentum carries and it goes higher. It's like a curl, but that curl is necessary. The downward slope of the curl is necessary to gain the momentum to pop over the initial high. So, man, I'm all over the place this video, but wow. Okay, that's enough with UAVS. Let's look at BKYI. BKYI, same sort of just absolute crap ticker. $70 at one point, washed to 30 cents, right? Piece of crap, 37 cents at the low. But I want to say that BKYI has also probably, you know, had some news in here. So this is why you get the gap ups, but you know, it's a gap and crapper. It'll gap up, make some crazy moves, but then it just seems to lose all of its gains, and it's a crappy ticker, right? Okay, but this is like the first pop or first couple pops. This was the stabilization. Then you start to get another pop out of that stabilization. It was forming a 3-day surge pattern. Okay. Now yesterday I was watching it for the surge. You can see pre-market, it did have a pop and tried to get out of the 3-day pattern. It comes down and just kind of like holds. I think I took a shot at it intraday, or around 2 p.m. I did take a shot at that. I think I lost a very small amount of money, but I did take a shot at it once I realized, okay, this thing's just not going to go today. I got out, and then I saw after hours it perked and got up to 107. I was like, of course they send it after hours. I was like, what the hell? That's fine. I was just gonna wait and see what happens today. I see it pulls back. Okay, so I was happy to see the pullback. So my thought process was, okay, well, if we get a whole dollar breakout again today, I think that it could surge today and can pull off the pattern. And so, okay, to get back to my point of why UAVS reminded me so much of BKYI, they are both shitty penny tickers that have been getting some recent news and have been getting recent speculation during these crazy times. Okay, BKYI has had that big surge day. It has stabilized just like UAVS has stabilized. It has stair-stepped just like UAVS stair-stepped, and it is forming the 3-day, or in this case 4-day surge setup that I like. Okay, so are they correlated? No, I don't think so, but they are very, 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 very similar in the setup. It's just a bullish setup. Okay, so I like it. I liked it, I like it, and I still like it. Okay? Alright, so let's get into some specifics. I watched it. Just watched it, waited. I had the ticker on another screen, so I wouldn't miss it, hopefully, but actually no, I'll take that back. I mean, in this case, BKYI was a top, what I call top priority. So it's a ticker that I have up on my E-Trade as one of my top 3 stocks that I am watching. And so I had it up on the level 2. So the level 2 was up the entire time because it was a top priority ticker, something that I liked a lot more than anything else. So I was watching it very closely. You see that it just consolidated, nice VWAP consolidation. You pair that with a healthy multi-day, and once it starts to curl up, reclaiming VWAP, pair that with tape confirmation. When I say tape confirmation, I'm talking about level 2. Okay, so 150,000 share bid prop occurred at 98. So once the bid prop came down, that was my confirmation. I bought instant bought 2K, 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 so 6K shares total. The reason why I didn't, maybe put 6,000 shares and just buy it in one go is based on the tape, I was only comfortable with 2,000 shares. Once the 150K bid prop came down, my comfort level increased, which allowed me to take an appropriate 6,000 share position, but I didn't have time to type it, so I had to just press buy. So that's the explanation behind that. And just get a nice whole dollar surge, no headache, go straight up for me, which is always nice to see. And as a disclaimer, I will always tell you that a bid prop is not a reason for entry. if you only enter something because of a bid prop, it's dangerous, and there are a lot of bid props that like to disappear and dump on you. So just because something has a nice bid prop, okay, that's only a part of the equation. Always want to throw that out there as a disclaimer because I don't want anybody getting wrecked on that. So it just helps the overall thesis, and like I said, little bit of information that can help you. So now my sell was basically BKYI felt like a weaker UAVS. On UAVS's first day, it was a nice ripper. When it started to rip, it ripped hard, and there wasn't a whole lot of waiting. It just ripped very hard. Now, when BKYI was done consolidating, I mean, it ripped hard, but it wasn't. Once I got the 110 breakout, I knew it wasn't going to be that powerful, because if you get a 110 breakout, it should just pop and explode into the into the teens. It should get over 115. It should be testing the 120 level. It should have given me some stronger. It should have been stronger. You know, if the play was going to be something special, I just felt like it should have been stronger. And then I'm sitting there up $1,000, so I just lock in profits. You know, so I just 114, there was a pretty big wall, and I was trying to see if it could break over the 114 to start testing the 115s, maybe high. Did test 120, the high teens. And it just didn't appear like that was going to happen. There was some size on 113. I knew I could get filled at 113 if I took action. So I was the one that took action and initiated the sell. Okay, so that's something that I guess is a little tip. You don't have to wait for a level to fail. You can be the first player in the space to be like, hey, I think this shit's weak, I'm out. Y'all can stay in, but I'm out. Right? I don't need it to fail before I get out. I'll be the one that dictates that. If I think it's weak, I'll get out before it fails. Right? So that's what I did in this case. It worked out nicely because I locked up a nice win, and I was going to re-enter, but honestly this TA was very choppy. The volume got very, I guess, choppy, and the level 2 got unstable. It was hard to really feel an edge. So for the most part, I didn't really get involved again. I think I took the new high of day breakout. I took like a 114, a little late, admittedly. Late because I was kind of uncomfortable. By the time I felt comfortable, it was kind of too late. But I did get in at like 114 or 115. Ended up selling at 117 once it failed. And it was just a chop fest, so I didn't really get involved again. But what do you notice about the daily? I mean, if you really look at it, what do you notice? I'll tell you, I feel like it's consolidation. So it kind of just feels like a stair stepper. It doesn't feel like it's gone parabolic yet. Now, this is very speculative, I know. But I think that this is going to have a day 2. So this is one of my top watches tomorrow for a day 2 to kind of test some of these levels. It's already shown it likes this 230 level, and it got to 258. Look, this is extremely speculative, okay, but it is over kind of like that 115 key resistance. So I'm watching it for an additional move. I'm trying to think, like, what's a realistic upside for this? I mean, I think I'd be watching it for 170s. I don't think I would push my luck past that. We'll see. This might not do anything tomorrow. It might actually gap down and wash, you know, like It could do nothing, but all I'm trying to say is I like its development, and I still like it, which means I'll still watch it, okay? So that's a simpler way to put it. What else can I talk about? You can see a kind of a screw up, actually. I bought 3,000 shares of SPY. Pull that up real quick. I'm not going to really explain it, but I guess I'll show it real quick. SPY was pretty cool. I had a pre-market PR, made a recent run recently and settled, so I was thinking it could probably run again, and sure enough it did. I bought the 72 right in this area, got the pop I was looking for, and then it just kind of got slow, and I was busy with other plays, and honestly I just didn't want to watch it, so I cut it. I cut it at 76 because I was, just busy with other stuff and didn't respect the plan and got to 119. So that's a nice example of not sticking to the plan and getting burned. So that is what it is. I mean, I did alright today. Best day of the week, $2,930. So it was a good day. It was a solid day. Opportunity cost wise, I probably left another 2,500 on the table. But trading's not about being perfect. My morning trade on BKYI was the closest thing I think I could have gotten to perfect. I basically bottomed and topped it, and at the end of the day, if you trade some things really, really well and then blunder some other ones, it is what it is. You can't get too upset with yourself, I guess. That's interesting. Kind of a nice pop after hours on that. It's kind of interesting. But really, the list goes on as far as how many things move today and how many things are moving every day, quite frankly. APT had a nice bounce. I missed this, but my goodness, it was a nice bounce, nice afternoon development for a scalp. I mean, the plays just go on. APDN had a PR. I don't like this that much. I mean, it was hard to catch that PR randomly. Formed kind of a nice cup development. Could have scalped it, but not crazy about it. Oh yeah, I nailed MTP. That was kind of cool. I saw it late off of a Hive day scanner on Stocks to Trade, and then I just took 500 shares. Saw like a little bit of development on the tape. Took another 500. I was feeling kind of testy, and it's a massive former runner. Thing ran from what, $7.40 to $54. Look at this development. Stair stepper, micro triangle, 3-day surge setup. I mean, there's so many things going for this thing. How could I not go for it? You know what I mean? Some things you just look at, it's like, how do I not go for that? Like, yeah, I'm chasing it a little bit, sure. I mean, yeah, I am chasing it. It was at $2 in the morning. My entry was what, $2.65? I would say that's a bit of a chase, but the development was proper as far as, look, this is consolidation TA. Okay, this is like the beginning of a breakout. It's like consolidation. If this was on a smaller scale, you wouldn't think anything of it. Like, you wouldn't think it's a chase. If this was, let's say, $2 by 220, okay, you wouldn't think anything of it. You would just say, okay, it's a little stair stepper, nice development for beginning of a breakout. It's fine, right? Well, in this case, the development is on a $2 by 260 scale, 60-cent scale on consolidation TA. So, okay, when I saw that, it was like, okay, that's the alarm bells were going off. Like, this is a specialty play. I need to get involved. And by specialty play, I just mean rare TA. It's rare as far as the development mixed with the scale. it's just rare. You don't see it that often, and it can lead to some really crazy stuff, right? Get a nice pot from 260 to 390, and honestly, I'm disappointed. This is a halt play. This is supposed to resume over 4 and give me a nice surge to 420. You know, like that was what I was hoping for that. Like I was hoping for 420, honestly. It opened weak. I don't mess around. When stuff opens weak off halt, I don't mess around. I just get out. So I locked up the $900 win roughly, I believe. Yeah, I think that's about it. I mean, I don't really have anything else to talk about. Apologies for the rambling. If you enjoyed the video, though, go ahead and like and subscribe. And I hope that somebody out there enjoys this video and gets some good perspective or learn something from it. I know I ramble and talk too much, but like I said, how do you not talk about this stuff? Come on, stuff's exciting. How do you not talk about it? Yeah, the year's going crazy, right? Pushing myself every day, try to be a little bit better each day. I'm just consistently controlling my losses, and yeah, let's just keep it going. Keep it going. Best of luck to everybody out there. Let's see what happens with BKYI tomorrow. I'm kind of interested to see if it has another green day or not. Alright, I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.